I like coming to school every day because I get to see my family. I like coming to this place because this is my home. And this is where I get to be with my family and do what we love and show other people what we love. We get to show off that we've been working for months and months on end. This moment is so special to me, and I'm so upset that this is my last one. I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. I was wide awake at 7:30 a.m. I did not want to get out of bed. And I got out of bed. I didn't want to change out of my clothes. I changed in my clothes. I didn't want to take a shower. And then I didn't want to get in that car and leave. And then when I got to the high school, it took me about 10 minutes to get out of my car because I don't want this to be my last one. Last chance I'm going to get out on that field and say, look at me. This is what I'm part of. This is my family.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are watching this video, we want to thank you for clicking on the link. We are with the Mumford Band. My name is Ben Kirk. I'm the Vice President of the Mumford Band Boosters, and I'm here tonight with directors Barry Trobaugh, Gary Fite, and Doug Young. And we're just going to have a conversation tonight just to talk about a few things that are coming up down the pike with band camp and, of course, the new school season. But we're in a very intricate and crazy time right now in America. So we want to have our directors come on and bring you guys a little bit of assurance and just have some fun tonight talking about some things and preparing for what's ahead in the future. So first off tonight, we want to throw it over to Gary. Gary, why don't you welcome everybody tonight?
Hey guys, first of all, we all like to say, all three of us, we miss you guys very much so. I haven't seen you guys in forever. One of the longest times I've ever had that I haven't actually seen my kids or talked. We just want to, this is an informational meeting for all the parents and eighth graders and everybody that's coming up to the program that's new. So after this video, you can send us questions. You can do all kinds of things. Just anything. There's not really a dumb question. So just ask anything. And we're going to try to field a lot of those during this video. But I want to say welcome to the Mumford Band, guys. We're still hitting all cylinders. We're working every day towards this next season in the fall. Just understand we're hitting it. Our feet are on the ground right now, ready for this. So don't think that we're in neutral. All right.
Mr. Trobaugh, why don't you give us a brief overview of, the informational letter that you sent out, some who, what, when, where, why, that kind of thing, and cover the building usage, food, and just a general flow of daily activities.
Sure, be glad to. First off, just as Gary said, I'm so glad to see you guys. I'm so glad to be addressing you parents, but especially I'm excited beyond belief to be addressing the students that are coming in as this year's freshman group. We've been watching you for a long time. You've been an amazing bunch at the middle school. We've been talking about this now for over 2 years, how excited we are to have you in the high school program. And now you're going to make that transition, and you are the future of our program. You're going to be the next group of champions. And just again, as Gary said, we're sure we've got this. You're going to have a little blind faith in us, between the band parents and the instructional staff. We've got this. Don't worry. It's going to happen. We promise. I hope that you had an opportunity to look at the document that we sent to you, and it's just basically a welcome. It says welcome aboard, and that's really what you are. You're on this great ship that we call the Mumford Band family. Obviously, we're real proud of the fact that we in 2015 were in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and just a little over a year ago, we were in the Tournament of Roses Parade, and then last year We were fortunate enough yet again to win the Bandmasters Championship, and this marks 20 times that the Munford Band program has now won that. And those are such important parts in our tradition, our climate, and all those things. And we're glad to welcome you so that we do all sorts of things such as those next year. Now, we meet first in a thing we call band camp, and that's exactly what it is. It's 3 weeks of intense work and preparation. We're going to start on July the 13th for everyone. You'll notice that I broke it down because we do talk to you in vocabulary such as color guard, brass, woodwind, percussion. So I broke it down, but if you look at it real carefully, it's the same schedule. Our preparation for those 3 weeks is literally to get us through the entire rest of the season. It's the most important time that we spend, but for our community, let's look on a more short-term basis. Our first performance is July 31st. We're going to do a large chunk of our fall presentation on July 31st for a packed stadium. If you don't believe that it's packed, just hold on to your seat because you'll drive by and think that there's a playoff football game going on. And in fact, it's just a premier run of our program for the fall. We utilize the grounds of Munford High School, almost the entire building. We meet in many of the different classrooms in our section work, cafeteria, band room, choir room, hallways, outside, inside. We use all of that building. Dr. Fee is so gracious in allowing us to basically infiltrate the building, use the gym when need be. We're inside initially a good bit of time, but we're outside a lot. End of story, end of discussion. We're outside. This is an outdoor activity, and we will prepare some things inside. It's outdoors, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. One of the great things about our school district is that they have what we call the summer food program, and in conjunction with that, all band students and all the athletes that are on campus as well can, if they choose, mom and dad, if they choose, they can have breakfast and lunch provided to them at school. We take time out of our day to do that specifically. We start each morning at 8 o'clock. Actually, it'll start a couple of minutes before 8, as Gary will talk to you in a moment, that we have a calisthenics type of program that we do to get the body and the mind all ready. We break every day like clockwork at 11:30 a.m. and we do not resume until 1 p.m. So we have a 90-minute period of time. Again, lunch is provided. I will take a small break here to say if you want to give your child permission to travel home or off campus for that 90-minute period of time, I do require that you send me a note either on a daily basis telling me exactly where they're going or if they're going to the same place each day and with whom they are riding. I want to know that. And my biggest point there is I don't want you calling me to talk to your child. Maybe you have an emergency situation or you just want to talk with them during our break. I don't want to say to you that I don't know where they are. So please help me out with that. They're welcome to stay on campus, but they're also welcome to leave. We resume back at 1 o'clock and we go to 4:30 each day. And that afternoon part is generally outdoors most of the time. So again, we're going to come back and talk about that. We do go 3 weeks, Monday through Friday. And we have our first big performance, and again, on that Friday, band blowout's what we call it, and it's on July the 31st.
Mr. Young, also known as Doug, bring some excitement to the show this year. Tell us a little bit about it and how it ties in with the community and connecting with the students.
So we're super excited about the show this year. We have Mr. Matt Hartwell back, who is the visual caption head for the Santa Clara Vanguard. Out of Santa Clara, California, that's writing our drill again this year and helping us with our overall visual design package. And then also new to our team this year, we have Mr. Will Pitts, who's written a really awesome musical like concept and arrangement for us. If you recognize that name, if you're familiar with the drum corps community, he was the drum major in Spartacus with the Phantom Regiment in 2008. Really awesome guy. Does movie music and different things like that out of UCLA in California. So he's written our music this year. The concept is based off Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, off the her famous poem. And the show's entitled Uncaged. So it's going to be a little bit different this year than maybe other Mumford Band programs you've seen in the past. We're using some familiar music, especially if you're an instrumentalist and you tend to listen to symphonies or classical music or anything like that. You're probably going to recognize some of the names of some of the arrangements by Eric Whitaker, who's one of our leading composers in the choir world, and that's going to be one of our pieces of music. The ballad is from Moulin Rouge, which is a really popular Broadway production. Our second movement actually comes from a marimba ensemble piece, and then our final movement comes from a famous saxophone concerto. So the show's called Uncaged. We're going to have bird cages on the field and really cool concepts as far as like chains and like what it means to be like not free. And then at the end, ultimately like what it feels like to be able to break free and to be like uncaged. So we're really excited about it. We hope the kids are super stoked about it too. It's going to be really fun.
Mr. Fight, go into a little bit of the detail of the things that they're going to be experiencing as far as physical challenges and nutrition, hydration, some of the things that they need to be best suited for band camp.
Okay. Well, it gets really hot here in the South, as we all know. Hydration is really, really tricky. So you've got to stay hydrated. You've got to drink a lot, even not just during the day, but before you go to bed, and just keeping your body hydrated and fed well throughout the camp. It is a physical activity. We call us, musical athletes because we move around the field and do all kinds of choreography. So there's a lot of physical work involved in that while you're playing an instrument. So, I mean, not to scare you guys, but you need to be in somewhat of a decent shape. So we do have physical PT we have every morning at camp, which I usually handle. And it's just getting our body warmed up and making sure that we're stretching the proper things proper parts of our body that we're using for marching, and making sure that we prevent injury is the whole trick. So just understand that, don't be afraid. Oh, Mr. Fight runs, he's going to kill me. No, I'm not going to kill you. I just want to get you in a decent enough shape that you can march this show. Hydration again is important. Sunscreen, wearing light colored clothing. Most of the time, Mr. Young's going to talk about this too, but I would say kind of running clothing, like dry fit clothing that dries really fast in the sun. Not heavy cotton stuff. It's just, think about what I would do if I was outside running or doing some kind of athletic event. Mr. Young, you got something on this?
So just to kind of give everybody an idea of what they need, let me kind of talk about the things that to wear versus maybe what not to wear, and then the things that you can keep with you just so you can survive band camp and just be the most healthy, awesome, active member that you can. So Mr. Fight talked about athletic clothing. You can get, like, Walmart has a really awesome assortment of athletic clothing, but like this comes from Old Navy. This is like a really good choice. It's like compression gear, and it really, really, really works well in the sun. But if you had something like this, you're going to want to definitely pick the lighter color because it's going to help you definitely survive camp. And then I would make sure, if you're someone who doesn't like to wear shorts, you're going to want to wear like basketball shorts, something like this, as opposed to khakis or jeans or jean shorts, anything like that, because those are going to be really rough on your body throughout camp. And then probably the biggest thing that you need to do is definitely make sure to protect your feet. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about really what not to wear first. We know that Toms are really popular with kids. You do not want to wear these to band camp. You're going to have really awful shin splints. No support. There's really no level of support here. So don't wear Toms. We do see a lot of kids usually only show up the first day, maybe wearing something like this. This is actually Miss Caitlin's shoe, but you don't want to march in this. Really, really bad for your feet. Of course, don't show up in flip-flops. This is something that we see a lot, is something like this, which is like a basketball shoe. And this is probably one of the worst things for your feet because it's really, really bad on your ankles. And this is how a lot of kids like roll ankles and then also get really bad shin splints. And then I do want to show you the difference between good support in a shoe and bad support. So also this is one of my son's shoes, but don't wear Vans or Chuck Taylors. These are bad too. But this is an example of a shoe that like Miss Caitlin has. This looks like a good shoe, but like if you look at the bottom, there's really no support there for your feet and for your weight. And so you're gonna definitely want something more like this, where you've got like that big fat support. Nike makes really awesome stuff. ASIC is probably one of the better shoes that you can get. This is something, even though you can get something like this maybe at Walmart and it's cheaper, it's better in the long run if you invest the money in your feet and your health to get something like this, where you have like this support. This is also another like really good shoe. It's also Nike. So that's something definitely that I would invest in, just so you have a really good support for your feet.
Also, the type of shoe that he's talking about, look for cross trainer as the name. You're looking for a cross training shoe that's like multiple sports. If you're going to ask somebody about it at a shoe store.
As you've listened to the other two gentlemen talk, you can tell that we have a lot of experience with band camp, marching band, and being successful, aka being a champion. As Gary said earlier, this is all very achievable, and if you will just merely take one step at a time with us, then you're going to be a superb performer. But you have to make good decisions, and it's so easy to listen to Mr. Fight say we got to wear this, that, and the other. Listen to Mr. Young saying we got to wear light colors and we got to wear foot support and all of that. But if you don't take that seriously each and every day, then what you're going to do is become injured. And moms and dads, I'm going to speak right to you for a second. We're so blessed with this Munford Band Booster organization, which is our primary support mechanism, financially, emotionally, and everything else. We will have on campus with us each day, we will have a medical staff of people that are professional, trained, and practicing medical professionals that are there for your child, for us as well. We have hydration provided the entire time we're there, from before the students arrive till well after they leave. Again, making good decisions about these things. Our medical people are there to triage, if you will, any small little thing that happens. Get a little sunburn, come over there, we're going to put some sunscreen on you, we're going to help you out. Your shoe, break a shoelace, maybe we'll help you with those things. What Mr. Fight and Mr. Young have tried to show you is that we're going to take care of your child, even if we have to call you or we have to call first responders. We're going to take care of your child, but we don't want any of them to have to sit down. As they sit down, then they fall behind. And I wish that this was a sport, if you will, that you can readily catch up. But everything we do is a sequence that leads to the next sequence. So our goal in all of the information that we've given you so far is to keep these children healthy and thinking about how they're going to survive. The theme of the night, obviously, is black shirts. One of the things that I will make fun of every child that shows up each and every day, I will point to them and I will try to tell the rest of the band what time they will have to sit down because they don't feel well. You won't survive in a dark colored shirt. You will not survive. Gary or Doug both will tell you it's automatic. So again, we're just trying to give you the things so you have the tools to make great decisions based on your needs. But I do want to assure moms and dads that we have medical people on staff all the time. We've pretty much seen it all and we've taken care of it all, but we're putting child safety absolute first and paramount as we deal with them. So again, you're going to need to trust the four of us at this point to for you to be comfortable that we've got this, we've been there. We've done it with students that walked in not prepared, and we've helped them to become prepared, and then they become champions. So, Mr. Young, what else you got to add to that?
So really quickly, I'll just go through this. Most of our really, really high achieving performers that we typically see that don't get injured, one of the things that they always talk to me about is they're typically prepared. As opposed to reacting to being unprepared. So we always like to tell the kids, be proactive as opposed to reactive. So the biggest thing that I would get for your kid, get a backpack, something that they can store a lot of stuff in. And this is stuff that I keep in my own backpack, and I'll go through that very quickly with you. So your kid, even though they're going to wear socks to band camp, I would have another pair of socks in their backpack just because, again, we want to keep our feet healthy. And so one thing that we like to do, and I know me and Mr. Fight do this, is bring a pair of, flip-flops or something so at lunch you can get out of your shoes, really let your feet air out. And then for the second block of the day, I would put on some other socks just so you're really like having good feet health. Also, you're going to definitely want to bring either a towel or a yoga mat, just any type of towel will do. The fitness program that Mr. Fight does in the morning, we do it on the concrete. And so if your child doesn't want to do push-ups and stuff like that on the concrete, I would definitely invest in maybe like a yoga mat or a towel. That's going to be a little bit better on their skin. A couple other things. Everybody needs a hat. Whatever hat you wear is fine. Some kids wear hats like this. Your typical stereotypical hat. My wife likes to wear visors. You can wear a visor. The staff is really falling in love with these bucket hats just because they really block some sun. But it's really important, especially if your child's a wind player, to protect their instrument. And their main instrument is their lips. And if those are getting sunburnt, they won't be able to perform accurately. So definitely a hat. Everybody needs to have a hat. The staff loves to bring our own water bottles. Anytime you can save time or where you don't have to run back if you're on a break to the water cooler, bring your own water bottle. That'll help you. This is probably one of the most important things is some sort of snack. Peanut butter and cracker is awesome. I wouldn't pack chocolate. It's going to melt. This doesn't melt. Bring some sort of snack. Even if you're somebody that doesn't have sugar problems, you're going to be burning thousands and thousands and thousands of calories. And what your kids are going to find, they're going to be really hungry really quickly. So bring some sort of like nutrition so they can kind of replenish that. Just a couple other things. Sunscreen, like Mr. Fight talked about, definitely. You probably want to bring yourself like some type of SPF chapstick. I don't necessarily like Blistex, but if it has SPF in it, that's great. This one is going to be your best friend. If you have baby powder or if you have some sort of just like powder that helps with moisture that they can put in their socks or even in their shorts just because they're going to sweat a lot. A&D ointment's great. Just anything where they can be proactive and prevent themselves from injury and unnecessary things as opposed to being reactive to things that could be prevented. Would be awesome. So and I'm sure there are other tips that the older guys, the section leaders, your drum majors and stuff can give you. But I think over the years, those are the biggest one. And then probably for everybody, bring some deodorant. I keep this in my bag. That's great. Just so nobody has to smell you. It's awesome. And if you don't have deodorant, the cool thing is most everyone else does. So don't be afraid to ask.
I can see the male in the male adults smiling that grew up in an athletic environment because those are the same things that a football coach or a baseball coach would be saying. So that's a great job. Mr. Fight, I know that you always talk about how they need to be outside. Can you kind of go over that?
Yeah, and I was thinking about that when Mr. Young was talking. Even in the quarantine right now, you guys can still be doing some kind of exercising. I would really like for you to please be moving around a bit, even if it's in your yard or wherever you're allowed to do it. You got to do some kind of exercising because this type of quarantine stuff that we're in right now, you can gain 20 pounds in 2 weeks very quickly. And I'm in that battle right now. So just understand, even in the quarantine, we need you to move around a bit. Even if you're doing something small every day, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. And then during the summer break, you've got to get outside because as the heat starts out, you've got to get your body used to heat. It is a really shock to your body if you have sat inside all June and done nothing, but just kind of hang out and play games. And trust me, I fall into that victim too sometimes, but I will make myself get out and do stuff. And usually in the summer, it'll be in the morning because that's the only time it's really bearable. So just please get out there and move around and just burn some calories at least every day. Okay.
All of you will be getting some correspondence from us and then our section leaders, our student section leaders. And my incoming ninth graders, we'll call you freshmen because that's what you are to us. I want you to make yourself constantly available to and listening to your section leaders because they've been through all of this and they have experienced it all as a freshman and then leading up to whatever grade they're in now. So those section leaders will be an amazing resource for you. The only dumb question you will ever ask them or any of the people you see on the screen, only question you'll ever ask is dumb. It's the one that you don't ask us at all. So don't be shy. We expect you to reach out to us, and we're going to talk to you about that here in just a moment.
And thank you, Mr. Troball. Mr. Fight, I want you to follow up real quick with an overview and just reference why the last 26 years have been successful and how this program and the things that are initiated ensure the parents and the students of how this works and why it works.
Well, I mean, the first word for the parents is trust us. Trust the system. This system has been fantastic. It's put us, on the national stage, if you will. I mean, setting the program up to a very high standard. We are always going to protect your kids. We're always going to, and it's always going to be like when we make decisions about your kids, it's always going to be educational. It's not going to be, vindictive or anything like that. It's always going to be, we are worried about them. We want them to be this good. So, but it takes like enormous amounts of time and hard work to get to the point that we always try to get to. And a lot of your kids have never been through this kind of journey through Marching season with us. It will probably be one of the hardest things they've ever done. But trust the system. They are going to come home and tell you that they don't want to do this anymore. But you're going to have to stick with it. You're going to stick with your guns with this and say, yes, we're doing this. I promise you the payoff is awesome. And the life skills that they learn are phenomenal. Both my kids went through this program. And it is incredible, the life skills that are learned from this. And the one main thing is responsibility.
Mr. Kirk, I believe you have a graphic that you can put up. Mr. Fight talked about the national recognition, and just today it was announced that we're the National Association of Music Merchants. We've been selected as one of the 3 outstanding communities in the entire state of Tennessee for support of our music programs in our county. And that is a major kudos to our community, and I think to all of our music programs at Montford High School, the choir program, and of course the band program. But we're real excited about that. And all of those accolades, all those awards come from one at a time, really small bites of a huge elephant, and eventually we get the whole elephant taken care of. So we're excited about that, and that so fits right in with what Gary is trying to convey to you guys.
And the second year in a row.
So 2 years in a row, one of 3 this year. I'm in awe. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, I want to take just a minute and then we'll wrap up with any other questions that you guys may want to cover. But, being a board member, I'm a proud band parent. I've already had one daughter graduate. She's in college now. I've got one son that's graduating this year. He's a senior drum, percussion, snare player. And then my daughter, Gracie, is going to be a senior upcoming in color guard. So we're proud band parents, but the band parent organization, along with the executive board that's serving right now, is doing everything that we can, along with the chair people and also the incredible band parent family. We want to, let you be rest assured that we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we're covering all of our bases. In essence, the band parent organization, the Montford Band Boosters Incorporated, is the train that drives the vision and providing provision for the Montford High School band. And so when that is equaled out, that brings into a thing to where, yes, there are band fees, which we're going to cover in just a second, but there's also fundraising that we do too. So we're doing everything that we can to balance that out to where that we are able to function. And one of the overviews of the band fees this year, we settled around the $700 mark this year. Yes, band fees had to go up, but there's just certain things that just needed to take place. We've cut and added and cut. We've done everything that we could to balance everything out. And so this year, band fees will be $700. You'll be hearing a little bit more about that as time comes. You can start making payments in, I believe, April or May. They'll be $115 a month, and they have to be paid through a certain time in October, at least the first part of November. So as time progresses, our president, Rebecca Green, will be, promoting that information at our booster meetings. She'll be talking about that along with the rest of our staff. And I want you guys to rest assured that, there are things that we're doing, like we have equipment that's falling apart. We're meeting feverishly. We're having these meetings to try to say, where can we cut this to do this, to make sure that we're just being fair all around. And, those fees, they go for a lot. They cover transportation to competitions. They cover food. They cover expenses that we have to have for staff, and as far as, equipment and just set design, everything that we use to make sure that we remain that level of excellence that we always give for the last 26 years, and just remain in that champion mindset of doing the best that we can. So we are providing provision for the vision. So it's very important. I know during these tough economic times that it may be hard, it may be a stretch. And again, we want to do everything that we can, but it's important that you reach out and talk with someone if you feel like you're going to have an issue with paying that, or with getting that information and that funding back to the Mumford Band organization. We're here to work with you. We're here to do whatever we can.
We're not going to lose a student over finances.
No.
Again, I want to assure all the parents, and Gary and I have been working this for a number of years, and I don't tell stories such as this, but if I could, I would put you a lot more at peace. But you moms and dads, please don't freak out about this. We'll work with you. As Ben mentioned, one thing that I want to give accolades to him, not only does Mr. Ben have children in our program, but he too was a band student in a very, very outstanding program when he was in high school. So he not only talks the talk, but he most certainly can walk the walk. If I could, Ben, just for a second, we do have a band fee, and it is to provide all the things that you are aware of that our program stands for. It is unfortunate, but it is what it is, that none of the middle schools nor any of the high school bands in the entire county, Tipton County, none of them are funded by the school district or by their individual schools.
Right.
What I like to tell people is that band is going to happen every day. We're going to teach your child. We're going to teach your child. But those unique opportunities and those unique experiences and the things that the four of us remember about band are the things that you're paying for through your band fee. During band camp alone, we will have a professional instructor in addition to us and others that are full-time with us. We bring in the very finest people we possibly can. There will be a flute teacher on campus, a clarinet teacher, saxophone teacher, and so on. And again, that's what our fee is paying for, plus the other things that happen throughout our school year. Marching band is not the only thing we do. We have a myriad of musical activities that our students are involved in. And this fee covers that for the entire year. And that's why Ben has said that we will work with you on the payments. We're in an economic situation right now. That's just what it is. Okay, we understand that. We don't want to lose your child. Your child, this class, this incoming class of freshmen, means the world to Gary Fight and to Barry Trovall. We've watched these students. We love these students. We want to love them as part of the other students that we love so much. So nothing's going to stop this team. This is an amazing band family. And again, if you will just have a little bit of trust in us, follow along, support us with your child and helping them make great decisions about how they handle the things that we do, you are going to be the proudest you've ever been in your life, because when your children do something that's outstanding, how can we not be proud?
Yeah. And we thank you. We trust you guys with our kids. I can say today that I am in music today because of the impact that my band director made on me back many years ago. So thank you guys for your serving our kids. All right. Anything else you want to say?
I just want to say to the 8th graders, I love you guys and I miss you big time.
I'm excited at what's in store for the Munford Band program. This has been an amazing journey for me over all these years, and to see our incoming students, but also to see all the wonderful alumni that we have. In fact, as you probably well know, Gary Fight's an alumni of the Munford Band program from many years ago. So this is a family, and we want to welcome you. Welcome aboard to this thing that we love so much. You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Mr. Young, do you have anything else? Closing remarks?
I think I'm good. Hope to see everybody out of quarantine soon.
Yeah, we hope that happens. So listen, if you guys have any questions, we're going to throw up some graphics to where you can send us an email, keep in contact with us, and don't forget, we're here to serve you. We thank you for watching this video, and comment, and any questions that you might have, comment and email those questions to the email address that I'm going to throw up on the screen for you. And what we will do, we'll probably come back and do another video to answer all those questions, let the directors answer them, and go from there. But again, we thank you for watching. Share this with somebody that you may know needs to watch it, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.